Okay, we will make a start now. Let me come on video so you can put a face to the name. Okay. Yeah, good evening once again. My name is Tayo Olatimilehin, and it's wonderful to have you come around tonight for us to spend some time together in this lovely, depending on which side of the country you're living, this lovely warm evening. It's been so hot here today, and I can't complain because I know very soon winter will be on its way. Okay, so quite a number of us on the call tonight, so I would do my best to be able to give us value for our time. And you want to be promoted to become a panelist, I can promote you. What that would do for you is to be able to unmute your mic yourself and to speak. For those of us who wants to be a panelist, I can promote us to be a panelist. From the attendee to become a panel. That will allow you to speak. Or again, if you want to speak as where you are, just let me know, and then I can activate that privilege for you. But when you're a panelist, you have opportunity to unmute your mic at any time and to speak. Okay, and if you want to put things in the chat, please feel free to put things in the chat. I would stop to answer questions as we go so the question doesn't pile up. So if there's something you want to ask, just put up your hand or put it in the chat, and I will do my best to answer your question within the context of today's topic. Okay, thank you. So let's kick off. I want to believe you are joining from all over the place, people outside of the country and within the country. Because of lack of because of our time, we'll just move on now. Okay, so first of all is a disclaimer. Today's discussion is a presentation, it's just for presentation only, and should not be construed as financial advice, as investment may go up or down in value, and then you need to consult your financial advisor before you make any financial commitment to anything. So that out of the way, I would just go ahead and start the class. So just first of all about us, KWC Global Institute, we are into coaching, especially coaching for leadership and empowerment to achieve profitability in every area of your life. And we focus on personal finance, and then we also focus on investment. Part of our training is also career development, even though that has not taken shape so much, we've not given it so much time, but we focus more on personal finance and investment. And that's what we'll be looking at today. And one of our training is called Building Wealth for Generation, while the other one is called Winning with Money. They kind of focus on the same thing. The Winning with Money focuses on personal finance more, while Building Wealth for Generation focuses on how you can build wealth. Wherever you are, wherever you live in the world, whatever your income is, I believe that you can build wealth. And I will take you through that journey. Okay, today I will try my best in the next 2 hours to teach as much as I can teach, going through the slides we have here. And for those who want to know more, we also have what we call the master class or advanced class. I will explain that to you towards the end of today's presentation. So what's our goal? Our goal is to not just help you have a comfortable retirement, but also to be able to take care of the next generation, to be able to pass down substantial wealth to those who are coming after you, and then to be able to give them education for them to sustain that wealth. What we notice that in most cases, people, first generation will do the hard work, they will make so much money. Second generation will come and spend it. They will do a little more. By the time you get to third generation, it's all gone back to square one. That shouldn't be. With education, we're able to sustain, perpetuate wealth within the family. Okay, course content, I won't bother going through them so much, but we'll look at the pillars of building wealth for generation. For those who have attended this class before, maybe in the last few weeks, maybe last month or last Saturday, 2 Saturdays ago, because I went to Coventry to deliver this training. So what I'm taking today is slightly different from what I've been taking from the beginning of the year. So this is slightly different. So it's good that you are here in this training just to have another flavor of what this training could be. So the approach of today is slightly different from that we've been taking from January. Okay, about me, I won't talk so much about myself. What I will talk about is the fact that I'm an investor. So I'm not here to give you theory. I'm not here to tell you what I don't do. And I'm not here to pretend as if I am in Bahamas somewhere on a yacht taking this class. No, I'm in my house somewhere in Staffordshire in the UK. I refer to myself like maybe that next door millionaire or that next door guy, okay, who has come to understand this and is trying to share his knowledge with other people. Okay, so I don't have a Ferrari. So all I'm going to tell you is going to be the truth and nothing but the truth. And then you hear from somebody who has practicalized it. You hear from somebody who has a real estate portfolio in 7 figures and stock market investment in more than 6 figures and above. So you will be hearing a lot about that. So what's our motivation? The motivation is the fact that every one of us, like I've said, can build wealth without necessarily having to quit your 9-to-5 job. And building wealth is not just for the super rich. It's not just for those who earn millions. Every one of us, when you understand the principle, we can build wealth to the level that you are able to set for yourself. And there's no place for comparison because my situation and your situation, they are totally different. Okay, and so it's an individual thing, it's an individual game. Whether you are winning or losing with money, you judge it based on your personal circumstances, not based on someone else's achievement. And so our motivation is the fact that people don't know that with as little as £100, they can actually start building wealth. And all building wealth requires is consistency, which we will talk about as we go. And then I just to show you my experience, I've been trading. I'm not teaching us trading today. I've been trading for the last for more than almost 2 decades now. 2026 was when I opened my first trading account, and traded till 2012 when I stopped trading, and I move on to proper investing, which is there's a difference between trading and investing. Okay. Generational wealth, what does it mean? That means you are able to build substantial wealth for yourself and you're able to pass that same wealth to generations coming after you. And we see the example of that in this contemporary world. And for those who are Christian, you probably once have read about that in the Bible, how wealth is being passed from one generation to the other, be that based upon the blessing of physical material. We in our contemporary times, we know about the Walton family, about the Laura Parry family, about the Mas family, Duke of Edinburgh, the Duke of Westminster, that happens to be one of the richest young man around. Also, they own a lot of land in London, and they've been able to pass that on over and over again within the family. And then some will ask, why do you talk about investing? Is it that we are worried, especially for those who are Christians? Is it that God can't take care of us? God can surely take care of every one of us. But there's one thing he also expect from us. He wants us to be good stewards of the things that he has blessed us with. And he says, go to the hands, learn their ways, and be wise. Okay, why would God say that? Ants, even though they have no leader, but they are so smart enough to gather their food in summer so that when they are in winter of their life, they don't have to go out. They have more than enough to last them for the summer. The whole colony can enjoy summer without having to enjoy winter without having to go out. And so also in life, there are phases in life. There is summer, there is winter. From the age of 18, when you start working, or 16 till when you are like 70, 75, thereabout, it's probably the summer of life. But the time is going to come when you need to rely on what you've done during the time when you are agile and strong. You can taste these risks, you can try that and try that for you to be able to enjoy when you are older, when you become older, or even for our children to be able to have a good pedestal to start their life on. Why do we need generational wealth? One, it's the will of God for you to prosper. Two, for a comfortable retirement. Three, we are taking responsibility. God won't do for you what you can do for yourself. Number four is the fact that it's leadership. Someone said, I am from a poor background, hence at 30. After that, you are the background. So it means if you are still complaining, daddy didn't do much for me, mommy didn't do much for me, and you are already in your 20s, you already have an education, you should now be the background to help other people to stand on and then build and allow them to, so that they won't say the same thing about you when they are older, that daddy didn't do anything for me. Okay, you've been good stewards by doing that, and then you are putting to work the law of seed time and harvest time. And time will fail me to talk about this. It's a concept that if you understand the law of seed time and harvest, you will take investing very seriously. Okay, let's move on from there. First generational billionaires, we know them. We move on from them. Okay, millionaires are born and not made. And this is a survey that was done in America, that 95% of millionaires in America today did not inherit their wealth. So they built it from scratch to whatever they have today. And so if you look at it, and this survey says that a lot of them are not the super rich bankers. They are teachers, they are attorneys, they are people in management, there are people who are accountants, CPAs, and engineers. These are the top 5 careers who are millionaires in America. It means anybody who's got an income will be able to achieve it. Now, how can you become a millionaire? There are so many ways for you to become a millionaire. You can win a lottery. I crossed that out because I know the odds are against you. So and I won't spend my money on lottery because I know it's me contributing money to some people's lifestyle. And then you could be through an inheritance. So I've ordered it in such a way, the more the more you go down the list, the higher your chance of becoming a millionaire. If you put that to not all of us, we have an inheritance that will worth million. Not all of us become the executive of a multinational company. Maybe you are the CEO of Amazon, of Shell, of Barclays Bank, of HSBC, or of Microsoft. Then not all of us can start a business and build it to become a multi-millionaire, a multi-million pound or dollar company. And in fact, not all of us are caught out to be an entrepreneur. If we want to be factual with ourselves, not everybody is caught out to be an entrepreneur. And but that's one thing we can all do. You can become very good at what you do right now, and now make more money and make your money to work for you. And through that, we can all achieve becoming a millionaire through you becoming good at your current trade, whatever it is, your current career, your current profession. You can become very good at it, and then you can make your money work for you in order to be able to build wealth. Okay, going on from there, say your income is your greatest wealth building tool. That's one nugget I'm going to drop first, that your income, your current income, is your greatest tool for wealth building. And so if you spend all our money servicing credit cards and paying off debts, then we significantly reduce our ability to build wealth, because that is more like you throwing away your seed instead of planting your seed, or giving someone else's your seed instead of planting your seed. You significantly reduce your ability to be able to build wealth. And why should we take this seriously? I'm going to show us a few statistics and why I think we should take this very seriously. I said, the question to all of us: do you currently know the worth of your pension? Some, yes, and so a lot of us, if I should ask us, don't answer that question, but if I should ask us, some people will know, some people will not know. And if you don't know, you are not alone, because this statistic shows that a lot of people do not know. He said, let me look at statistics. He said, 20% are confident they are saving enough for retirement. Only 20% are confident that they are saving enough for retirement. The remaining 80% of us, we are not too sure whether we have enough for retirement or not. We just kind of tend to bury our heads in the sand and say, well, when that time comes, it will take care of itself. But what we be will not be unless you do something about it. And that's the reason why there's the need for us to start taking proactive steps. You want to retire early? You want to have a comfortable one? Or do you want to give your children a pedestal to stand on there's a need for us to take it very seriously and be very conscious about what we do. And then we have on these statistics, you see the source of the statistics at below this page. To have a comfortable retirement, you need 54,000 per annum when you're retired. And to get 54,000 per annum, you need over $500,000 in your portfolio. And for two people, about 900 or almost 1 million in their portfolio for them to be able to have a comfortable retirement. Are you anywhere close to that? Yeah, okay. So there's a need for us to start building very quickly. So let's start by looking at 7 pillars of building wealth for generational. You see that the direction I'm taking today is different from those who attended this last month or those who did this two Saturdays ago. So it's another perspective to it. So what are the pillars for us to build generational wealth that we must have in place? Pillars hold the building. When they are in place, whatever you put on top of it will surely stand. And these are the pillars for you: financial control, wealth preservation, body care, wealth building, strategically building wealth, financial education, charitable giving, succession planning, and spiritual mindset. These are things you must have in place. I'm just going to go through them very quickly before we go into how do we actually do this. Financial education is very, very important. I normally tell people that you are very good at what you do now, right now, because you've spent years and years in the university studying for it. Okay, you didn't just wake up one day, pick up the car and start driving, but you went to driving school. Somebody taught you how to drive. Even after looking at someone, after sitting by a driver for a very long time, the very first day you pick up the key and drive, you become a bit difficult. You also need somebody to put you through. So also, if you are an engineer today, if you are a statistician today, if you are a nurse or you are a doctor or whatever it is your profession is, someone taught you that thing. You were in class for a lot of time. And so I tell people, becoming a doctor is not common sense. You can't just say, I can use common sense to figure out how to dissect and then stitch back and then stitch back the tummy of somebody or whatever you or do a heart bypass or whatever it is. So also is finance. Investment needs education. It's not just common sense that it's a common sense. I will just buy this, I'll put my money here. No, it's not. If it's common sense, if you do common sense, you're going to lose your money. And so financial education is very, very important when you want to build wealth. And so you don't need to go to university for it, but through this kind of training we are having right now, you are able over time to be able to build the knowledge required for you to be able to build wealth by watching a few videos, reading books, and coming to webinars like this. You are educating yourself on a daily basis on how to do this, and after doing it for a period of time, you become a pro at it. I'm just going through the pillar. I have the script here. So let me just spiritual mindset. So some people call it psychology of money, and that is foundation number one. That if you are able to have the right mindset towards money, you'll be able to win and be able to build wealth. The first thing is that not enough or poverty mentality is all in the mind. And that's something called the learned helplessness. Learned helplessness is when you've come, even in the midst of abundance, you don't see, you still say it's not enough, but you're in the midst of abundance, you can't just see how to help yourself. It's a mindset. Once you break loose from that mindset, you are able to build wealth and then to be able to move ahead and do whatever you want to do. The next thing is, next foundation, which is very important, is that F is worth. Some people will say, I want to live in the now. I want to enjoy the now. Yes, very, very good. I'm an advocate of enjoying yourself. It's not all about saving for tomorrow. And I will tell us what will help us to do that as we go on in this particular training. Your earth is your wealth. You need to be healthy to enjoy whatever money you have. You need to be healthy for you to be able to enjoy it. So there's a need for you to take care of yourself, spirit, mind, body, and spirit, to exercise, to eat well. Let's take time to go on holiday. Your holiday doesn't have to be somewhere very expensive. Just take time to rest. Why in this journey to be able to build wealth. We call it what we call and have a guilt-free pleasure even while doing this. Very, very important. Those are the foundation of the pillars. And then the pillar number one is what I've talked about, which is financial education. And there are books there that I said, if you read if you read all three of these books, it will transform your life. Literally, it will transform your life. It will change your thinking. And I'm sure maybe a lot of us, you can see the popular one in the middle, very popular one, has been around for decades. I read this decades ago, about 2 decades ago. And then we have here The Richest Man in Babylon. It's a very, very small book, a very interesting story. It's a fictional story, but it's about the richest man in Babylon. It was set in the Middle East, but you will enjoy the story very well, and you will learn a lot from it. And The Next Door Millionaire is another very wonderful classic that I recommend that people should read, among other contemporary books that are out there right now. Now we see, when talking about education, you need to know things at least a little bit about the following things: cash flow, budgeting, debt management, investment, insurance, taxes, risk management, and the rest of them. There's a need for you to consciously go and educate yourself on all these topics, and do it gradually. And then so for you to be able to say, I have understanding of personal finance and investment. And pillar number two that you need to have in place while building wealth is that to secure a source of income. And that sounds so generic that you need to have an income. Of course, you need to have an income, because your income is your seed, like I've said. You need to have whatever, whether it's through a side hustle, or it's through your 9 to 5 job, or it's through your business. You need a source of income. But my emphasis here is the fact that there's a need for you to increase your capacity to earn more money. Don't just stay on that 20,000, on that 15,000, on that 30,000, on that 50,000. You can increase your capacity to earn more by doing the following. Look for a place in your profession that a lot of people are not into. Labor, sacrifice to be able to learn that area. Later, you will reap the reward. Add value to yourself. Change your career, negotiate a better pay, whatever you need to do to increase your capacity to earn more. In this country, they said the average income is 38,000, but you know that 30,000 doesn't take anybody anywhere. So if you stay on that average, it's not likely, you probably just be eating from hand to mouth, because it's probably just enough for you to pay your rent, probably eat food. There's a need for you to increase your capacity to earn. Don't sit where you are. Make sure you strive to get better, and make sure you strive to earn more. And I put here what my journey has been. I started from a £6.50 job, and by the grace of God, I'm probably on a like £90 an hour job now. And it's in this same country, some people earn like £200 an hour, some people earn like £500 an hour, and we all deliver 9 to 5. Why can't we all go train ourselves to see how you can earn more in your career? In every career, you have the opportunity to be able to increase your capacity to earn more. Some people will ask you, where is job satisfaction in all of this? Yeah, you look for something that you love to do, and then make sure you increase your capacity on a constant basis. Don't sit on it. Just keep increasing your ability to earn more money. And it's not you being greedy. It's just you are not being complacent at the same time. It's you are striving to become better in what you do. Okay. And the next thing is the fact that very few of us become a millionaire working the 9 to 5 job. Like I've said, not very many people will become the CEO or become be in management in all these big companies. But what you can do is to make your money work for you 24/7 while you work 9 to 7. So the next pillar is financial control. For financial control, it's not so much about how much you earn, but it's about how much you can put what you earn into work for you. So, and if you don't control your finances will control you. It will dictate to you how to spend it. So there's a need for you to dictate to your finances how you want it spent, and that comes through budgeting. Budgeting is the way for you to control your finances. Anywhere in the world, you will know that budgeting is the way. So how much is coming in for me? How much do I have? Where do I want it to go? If you don't determine that at the beginning of the year, some do it monthly. For us as a family, we do it December of every year, we kind of lay down the plan. This is how much we think our income is going to be, and this is where we want that income to go to. If there are excess income, this is where it's supposed to go to. There are other things that are coming in, this is where it's supposed to go to. I was giving an example two Saturdays ago, and I said I went to the garage to service my car, and I was given a bill of over 800 pounds to just change the oil and the air filter. So when you drive a big car, it's big problem, isn't it? And I was able to afford the 850 pounds, not because I earned a lot of money. I was able to because, and I gave the guy my debit card, and the guy asked me, what work do I do? He was expecting me to give him a credit card. And then he took the cash out of my account. And back to what I was saying, I was able to afford it not because I earned a lot of money, but because I have budget. I budgeted for my car. I know that one day I need to service my car once in a year, MOT once a year, servicing once in a year. And I know how much last year was like 500 or 600 pounds. So on a monthly basis, I put aside 50 pounds into an account that I can reach, okay, for that particular car. That's what budgeting is, because you will do this servicing. So it's not when it's now time for service, you now go and put your credit card and put it down. No, start keeping aside a certain amount on a monthly basis for that car, because that time is coming when you will need to do it. For instance, we pay our TV license quarterly. I think about 15 pounds. I can't remember now, on a quarterly basis. So we put aside five pounds into an account on a quarterly basis. So those expenses that doesn't occur every month, that occurs once in a year, once in 6 months, once in a quarter, put them all together, they all go into a particular account. And when there is a time that you need to spend, then just go there and pick the money and use it, because you properly planned it yourself. So there's something that is called lifestyle. I'm spending so much time on this, and I'm not sure we have that level of time. So there's something called a lifestyle creep. It means the more you earn, the more you tend to spend. And the quotations there say, what each of us call our necessary expenses will always grow to be equal to our income unless we protest to the contrary. It means when you are earning 2,000, your expense is 2,000. If your income should go to 4,000, your expense will go to 4,000. If your income goes to 7,000, your expenses will go to 7,000. It is just the way human being works. Your expenses will always increase to be equal to your income, unless you are very strategic to say, no, this is how much I want my expenses to be. This is how much I want my rent to be. This is how much I want to spend on my car. This is how much I want to spend on holiday. And once I put a cap on it, whatever is left, we should distribute it this way. So we have the 50-30 rule of investing. I think I should have slides, a bit of slides on that. So what do I have on this graph? I was at a group. I went to speak to a group of people last year, and I did a survey, and this was what people came up with. Why are you not investing? What are you investing your income from your 9-to-5 job into? This was the answer they gave me. A lot of people, 44%, said they are doing nothing with it. Okay, and when you go to the next survey, I also asked people, what has prevented you from investing in the UK? And this was the answer I got. So even though we have, some say I'm paying school fees, some say taxes, some say plenty of responsibility, some say I'm still trying to balance, some say existing debts, some say earning. You have a lot of things that have to do with finances. Some say very big bills, rent, not enough, study fee. But at the end of the day, I look at it, I've put some of them in boxes. I see that lack of knowledge is one of the reasons why people don't invest. I have this money, I don't know where to put it. Or I put money somewhere before and I lost my money. And because of that, I think I'm done with investing. Okay? With the right knowledge. So you see, lack of know-how, steps to invest in, not sure what to invest in, no direct mentor, lack of information, not sure where to invest, lack of information, lack of knowledge. You can see if you put them together, it's probably more than bills. So people, and that's one of the reasons why I've intensified and my effort in making sure I educate as many people as possible, at least on the basic things that they need to know to be able to build wealth. Okay. So the budgeting part of it, 50-30 50, 30, and 20 budgeting rule. 50% is for our enjoyment, for everything that we want, for everything that we need. Okay, the shelter over our head, clothes on our back, utility and grocery, food and childcare comes within 50% of our income. At times it could be up to 60%. Then anything you want, like shopping, subscription, eating out, gym subscription, should come under 30%, and then you should have 20% left for you to put into savings, into that either debt repayment or into savings. If this is not enough, 50% of, you can eat into the want part of it. But I normally tell people to start at least 10%. At least 10% should be here. You know, depending on how much you are earning, if you're earning on maybe 30 something thousand, you will spend more in this area. But again, no matter what it is, make sure a slice of 10% at least is going into your savings and into your investment. This is another example of somebody who's earning 3,000. You can divide it this way. You can move things from this blue area into the green area. You know, and then again, leave about 10% for you to be able to invest and to be able to build wealth. If you're on like 5,000, you want to analyze your finances this way. Okay, and this is for one person. It could be the household income. If you are living in a house more than 1,000 or 1,100, unless you have a mortgage, you are probably living in a house that is too big for you. You need to probably downsize or move things from here to be able to do here. But don't make sure this area is not so much impacted. We have 15% here as your income increases. And the time will come when this should be more than 15%, more than 20%, depending on how much you earn. You don't just, not all the time you have an increment in salary that you want to go for a bigger, something that is bigger than what you have right now. There's a need for that control. Very, very important. There's, you know, this training is useless if we are not able to put in a strategic control into how we spend whatever is coming in. So pillar number 4 is to be strategic about you building wealth, and that is why you are here today. You are being strategic to come and learn, what do I need to do? How do I automate my investment? How do I, you know, what do I put my money into and have a return? Passive income especially. But there are 2 ways to earn money. You can earn money actively, which is when you extend your time for money, or you can earn money passively. That is when your money is working for you. But how long do you want to keep extending your time for money? If you're working, you want to work until you are 65, until you are 9, or you are 70, and which is where the government is pushing the retirement age to. You want to be working until you are 70. I think they were 68 right now. I believe it's going to be, that age will increase before we get to retirement. But you know, so there's a need for us to be strategic about what we do. And so put your money to work by investing in stock, in real estate, or by starting a business by the side. And then there's a need for us to also avoid personal debt. Now, pillar number 5 that you need to look at is wealth preservation, risk management. And if you lost money before, yeah, we've all lost money before. But since I started investing, I have not lost money. I'm confident to say that since I started investing, I have not lost money. And I can show you how to do the same thing because my portfolio is in positive, and so I can say I have not lost money. So there's a need for you to understand diversification, balancing, and risk management based on your age. There's a time when you get to a certain age, there are level of risk that you can take, that you can take right now when you are still below 50. And so all of that is what we'll go deeper into in our advanced class. We look at diversification in terms of geographical location, in terms of portfolio, in terms of instrument that you can diversify into to have a balanced portfolio. So very important. Another thing you need to understand is succession planning, and this is how do I, in a very tax efficient way, transfer this wealth to the next generation through some of those things that we have on the screen. For want of time, also is good that you give to causes that are, you know, that touch your heart. Less as we live, let's make giving. They said there's a way it comes around. Let's make giving our lifestyle. Okay, just the summary. I won't go into that summary again. I think we already have it. Okay, let me look at time. Okay, how are you finding it so far? Please, if you are still there, you are not yet sleeping, you are not yet, even though you are cooking, but you are still focusing, can you give me a thumbs up, please? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. So if you give me a thumbs up if you are following, That would be good. Thank you. So we'll go into the next bit, which is mastering the phases of building wealth. Thank you very much. Great. Thank you very much. So the phases of building wealth, I call it the mastering the 5 phases, the roadmap to financial success. So the phases are phase number 1. The first phase, if you are just starting out, is the fact that you want to understand money, mindset, read books, come to trainings like this. It will help your mindset. The second thing is that you want to break old habits. Thank you for that thumbs up. You want to break old habits. Very, very important. Well, thank you very much for those comments. So you want to break old habits of spending more than we earn. We fall into this trap over and over again. And we need to be conscious to say, this how much I earn, credit card I won't go into you, personal loan I will avoid you, okay? And then number 2 is that we don't pay ourselves. You know, you heard this word before, pay yourself first. Pay yourself first. What does it mean to pay yourself first? To pay yourself first is not to go and eat. To pay yourself first is not to pay your rent or to have clothes on your back. To pay yourself first is actually to put money aside into your savings, and from your savings into an investment. That is the way you pay yourself. That is what will come back to you later in the future. So there's a need for us to make sure we pay ourselves. So before you pay your auntie, your uncle, before you pay your landlord, before you pay Asda and Tesco and Sainsbury's, please pay yourself first. Okay, and how do you do that? There should be a budget that at least 5%. That would be the first thing you take out of your account at the beginning of the month by direct debit. If it's £100, if it is £50, if it's £200, it's out of your account. If it's not out of your account, at the end of the day, you will not see it. The money just had a way of going. I don't know what it is. If you leave money in your account, by the end of the month, you know that the money is gone. Okay, whatever we've used it for, and then you look back, what did I actually use it for? You really do not know. So first of all, pay yourself out of that account first. Okay, then the first phase is that you want to learn to pay yourself first. You want to learn to live within your income. You want to be debt free. And to becoming debt free within 2 to 3 years, you are committed to it, you can be debt free. If you are really, really committed to it, you can become debt free by just avoiding whatever, paying off the current debt and avoiding new ones. And another way to do that is have some savings, a reserve fund of 1,000. That's the first you want to build on the first wave. Build a reserve of 1,000. Keep it somewhere. That is for some things. Maybe the tap broke in the house. You need to quickly fix the tap. Call out charge is £80. And then you are spending £150. You don't have to go into credit card to do that. Oh, your tire picked a nail, and you have to go and change the tire. Okay, and then you don't have to go and use credit card for that because you have 1,000. Then you replenish that 1,000 back again to make it into 1,000 once you've taken out of it. That's the first thing you want to do at the first level. Have 1,000 saved somewhere. Okay, from there, form the habit of paying yourself, and then you open an investment account. And it's better done together as a family. Okay, it's better done together for people who work. Not everybody, you know, and I'm not a marriage counselor, but it's better done together as a family. Okay, and the next thing is okay, we have a debt repayment strategy. I'm just going to put this link in the chat. I won't be able to talk through it. This is a very wonderful calculator that could help you to systematically, you know, put your how much outstanding you have on your car loan, on your personal loans, put them there. And when I'm talking about debt free, not I exclude mortgage out of it. First of all, you're talking about personal loan, credit card, student loan, and the rest of them. So I'll put this in the chat. You can use this, you can download this spreadsheet. It will help you to analyze, and you can pay, you can start, it will help you to analyze your how much you can put into your debt and how you will pay it. And when you finish paying it, if you stick to the plan, it will help you to stick to the plan. This is something I've used before. I've stopped sharing so I can put that in the chat for us. I'll copy that and put in the chat, and then you can just go to that website to download and use it. If you come to masterclass and we have enough time, I will walk us through that particular spreadsheet on how to use it. So it's talking about two things. You can use snowball method or avalanche method. Snowball method is as seen to be the most effective because it gives emotional satisfaction that you are actually reducing your debt. So this is when you pay the smallest to the highest to the biggest debt, not regardless of their interest rate. While the avalanche is when you pay the one with the highest interest rate to the one with the lowest interest rate first. But this is the best. It works better than this, even though because when you if you are owing four or five people and you paid off one, you are motivated to go to the next smaller one, to the next one that is next to it. You pay that off, you now have three people. So that helps you than you starting from the biggest or the one with the lowest interest rate, in case it happens to be the biggest. Okay, phase number 2, when you are building wealth, you've done about you taking care of mindset. And again, you can be in multiple phases at the same time when you are trying to do this. The second phase is that you want to be consistent with you want to build you want to be your contingency fund. Rather, at this point you want to have a 3 to 6 month worth of your expenses kept somewhere. Now, I've been teaching this for a while, okay, and this was tested for me from January to April. Like I told some people that from January to April, 4 months, I only got paid for 1.5 months out of 4 months due to a bit of restructuring going on with how I work. I only got paid for 1.5 months, and within that period, 2 of my tenants didn't pay their rents. It means I have the rent on one of the house, the mortgage on one of that is 1,100 plus insurance about 1,200. So I was paying 1,200 on that house on a monthly basis without any income. And I myself, I was not getting salary. So, the banks will have been after me and collect the house from me if I kept defaulting on a monthly basis. And that was because I've been able to put, by the grace of God, been able to put aside something that could, I was not expecting that to happen, but it happened, and one have to survive it. And by the grace of God, I didn't have to go and borrow anything from anybody to survive those 4 months. Okay. And so that is the importance of you being able to be contingency fund somewhere that you can use if you were to be in between jobs or something happened that you did not plan for, that is, that was out of your budget. So you need to now, at this point when you're on phase 2, increase your savings to at least 10%. Automate it. Those who have been to masterclass have shown us how to automate our investment. All you need to do is to do a direct debit, and the thing should be able to invest itself for you. Find a mentor and consolidate your investment. Start diversifying your portfolio. Start opening account for your children. We'll see the advantage of it as we go on. And then the next level, I need to quickly move on. I've almost spent 45 minutes on this. So I need to move on from here to actually doing the work. Okay, so phase 3 is that higher level of diversification. You understand what a good investment is. That's when you bring to me, I will tell you I'm not interested. I don't even need to go and research it. I'll tell you I'm not interested because I already have understanding of what a good or a bad investment is about. And then you want to increase your how much you put aside into your investment. And number 4, again, is further diversification. You want to start investing in maybe in other people's in upcoming businesses. You have multiple streams of income. You are doing your estate planning, setting up a foundation for charitable giving. And phase number 5, you are mentoring the next generation to take over whatever you have built. These are phases of building wealth. From starting from you to handing it over to our children. Then demystify the cash flow quadrant. So there's something called the cash flow quadrant. So I will move faster now. You should be able to understand what I'm talking about. I'll move very fast. I have the gift of talking very fast, and I hope you'll be able to pick it up. Okay, so we have the EBSI quadrant. The E is for the employee. The B is for business owner that has a system in place. The S is for self-employed, and then the I is for investor. What this is saying, this was first this was designed by Robert Kiyosaki in his book, The Cash Flow Quadrant. And so what this will help you to do is that as an employee, you're having income, but you own a job. It's you that brings in the money. When you are a self-employed person like myself, like a consultant like myself, you own a job, because if I don't work, I don't get paid. You get paid a little bit more than the person who is an employee. Okay, when you own a business, people work for you. So whether you are there or not there, a lot of people cost a lot of money. You have leverage. There's no leverage here. There's no leverage here, but here you're able to leverage on other people's time and other people's effort. By the time you get to here, Now you now have passive income. This is where your money is making more money for you. Okay, and there is different mindset in each of these quadrants. But what I'm trying to teach you is that whether you are the I quadrant is the best place to be, but because not all of us can just become an investor overnight, wherever you are in the quadrant, your money can flow into the I quadrant. I think that's the moral of this drawing. That whether you're a business owner, you're an employee, you are self-employed, let your money flow into the I quadrant, which is the investors quadrant, where you can make your money work for you and you can earn passive income. Okay, it could be on a monthly basis, it could be on depending on what you invested in, it could be on a yearly basis. So I'll move on from there. Let your money flow into the investors quadrant, regardless of your status when it comes to how you work. And passive income. So passive income is when you leverage on other people's time, knowledge, wisdom, influence, and other people's money. For here now, I'm earning dividend from Microsoft, for instance. I don't have to be a staff of Microsoft. Some people are doing the thinking for me, and they are making all the billions, and they are giving me just a little piece out of it. Okay, so now let's go to the first aspect of these are areas where you can invest into real estate. It could be savings account, it could be stock, it could be other things that you can put money into, precious metal, annuity, commodity, and the rest of them, or starting a business. But today we'll quickly look at how you can invest, one, in equities, and how you can invest in real estate. We look at those two today. How you can invest in equity and real estate. When you talk about equity, you talk about ETF, mutual fund, stocks. They are all in the same place. Even treasury bonds, stocks, mutual fund, ETFs, they all come under. I will permit me to categorize them under this, and then real estate. So quickly, let's go into how you can make money passively. Okay, number one, stock markets. You can make money. Some of you say, I bought First Bank or I bought Fidelity Bank long time ago, and I've not made anything out of it. I bought First Bank too when it was 33 naira, and it's still like 15 naira now. Okay, that was 2008, when 2007, 2008, before the before the global economic crisis. But there's a better way to do those things these days. We now have a way for you to be able to invest across the globe. You can invest in Australia, in Japan, in China, in US, right from your phone, from the comfort of your house, with as little as £1, can now invest across the world. And so why the stock market, a lot of money that are invested in this world are in the stock market. The rich billionaires of this world have their money in the stock market. Their wealth is measured by the stock market. All the money you contribute at work into your pension, 60 trillion of it is in the stock market. And so the government protects the stock market a lot. And when you hear about QE, quantitative easing, that's when government is printing money. They print money to make sure the stock market comes back, because that's one of the confidence. That's how you have confidence in the economy. They print money to mop up stock from the market, so that can you get these slides? You can get the recording that I'm recording this now. I will upload this on YouTube, and you will be able to get the recording. Okay, and so all of these things are all in the stock market. And so why not go to the place where the rich people are playing? Go to where their money is. Government policies are in their favor. Okay, and so with a little 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, let's be there and play the game with them. And then you earn income based on the proportion of how much you've invested. And I said, this is not day trading. Some people do day trading. I've done that in the past. Like I told you, I've been trained by the best companies in London. When I was day trading, I've been to IG office to go and do training. I've been to all of those investment platform office to go and do trading, to go and do training on how to trade. But I've stopped trading because 80% of people, 70 to 80% of people who trade lose their money trading. For me, I would say, do not trade the market. Do not trade crypto, do not trade stock, do not trade indices. Be an investor. To be an investor means you are a shareholder of companies. And it's a long-term thing. When you are trading is not passive income. You must trade every day to make money. If you don't trade, you don't make money. But your rate of people losing their money is very high when they trade. So I'm not talking about trading today, either stock or currency or crypto. No, I'm talking about you becoming an investor into a reputable company. Okay, and I say full disclosure, I have crypto I bought years ago. It's still there. It's about 600 pounds that I have there right now. It's nothing compared to my net worth. Is nothing. If crypto should crash today and go and should burn down, I don't care about it. But I have to have that because I also need to make people give people understanding of all of these things. So compound interest and time, they are your friend. Let me quickly explain that as we move on. Now, in the stock markets, compound interest can work in your favor. And that's the reason I brought this in here. I'm going to put this link in the chat, and I'm going to put it on the browser, and I will explain what that means. Stock market can work in your favor when it comes to compound interest. So let's quickly look at that. I will stop sharing that slide now, and I'll put this link in the chat, and I want us to follow me. I'm going to do some examples using that particular compound interest calculator. Someone said that compound interest is the eighth wonder of nature. And Warren Buffett, who is the richest investor when it comes to investing in the stock market, said, he said, my wealth has come from a combination of living in America, some lucky genes, and compound interest. And what is compound interest? Money makes money, and the money that money makes more money. That is a simple definition of compound interest in the layman definition of it. So I'm going to give an example using this. This is just how to calculate compound interest. I won't go into that. So for instance, for example, I'm going to use the example of this slide on that particular website to simulate a few things for us to see. What I'm trying to do is to paint a picture of what is possible, and it's important that you follow. So if you should give birth to a child today, age 0, and you open an account for that child, 100,000 input into that investment account, and then you put in 200 pounds on a monthly basis into that account at the rate of 10%. By the time the child is 18 years old, the child will have 126,000 in that investment account. And I've used 10% because 10% is the standard over the last 6, 7, 8 decades, 70 years, 80 years. The market has, when you over average it, has returned about 10% on the average over the last 70, 80 years. So history is on our side that we can achieve 10% if you do it on a long-term basis. Whereas a savings account will give you like 5%, even, and there was a time when it was 0 point something percent that you'll be given. So for a child, if you do this for your child, you look at it, you do 200 every month, and by the time that child is 18, they've got this. What can they do with this? They can go to university without having to take student loan, isn't it? After they can, when they're in the university, they can put some of their mates in the house to be paying the mortgage for them. And so they don't even have to pay the mortgage themselves. They have tenants in the house that can pay the mortgage for them. And when they finish school, out of it, they can also buy a house. They can buy a house. They can go to school debt free and also buy a house and put their mate in the house to pay the rent for them. And when they finish school, they are debt free and they have a house. That is us helping our children. And for us, if you're already maybe in your 30s or in your 60s, I will just simulate how this can work, the possibility that we can that this can do for us. So let's start with a child that is age 0, for instance. And then we said the interest is about 10%, and we're doing it for the first 18 years of the child's life, and we are depositing 200 into that account on a monthly basis, and then we do a calculation that is going to give us about 126,000 for that child. And then if you don't touch it and you allow the child to continue when they've turned 18 or they get their first job, say, okay, son, daughter, keep putting 200 into this account. This account is meant for you. By the time they are age 35, if they don't touch the money, they already have 700,000. By the time they are age 40, in that they already have about 1 million. So your son, your daughter is ready to retire with 1 million in their accounts, with maybe 1 or 2 houses when they're age 40. And so it means they don't have to work till we are working now. I'll probably work till I'm 55. Based on my projection, I'll be able to retire maybe at age 55. It's not too bad, but I wish I could do it at 40 and just at the age of 40. So that's something that we can do for them. But let's assume that you are already 30. You are just starting at age 30. So and you do it for another 30 years until you are 60. Now you're an adult. Maybe you can do 350 per month. What are you going to have when you're almost close to 1 million or so? If you start now, you're age 30, and so on and so. So the earlier we start, the better. Don't wait till when you. So if you don't start early, it means you need more money on a monthly basis to put into that account. So if you want to wait till you are 65, from age 30 to age 65, will make you 30 years of investing, and you have about 1.3 million in that account. Okay, when you are ready to retire at age 65. It doesn't have to be 1 million. Yours could be a target of 300,000, could be a target of 500,000, could be a target of 700,000, could be a target of 250,000 you want to put aside your workplace pension. And so the next thing I'm going to do is to do the withdrawal part of it. So now you are at age 65, and then your money in your retirement account is that number which we have at the top. 461 is 1361461 in your retirement account, and from age 65 till you are 105. I like it to cross 100. I love to live to be 100 if with good health, from age 35 to 100 is another 35 years, isn't it? So let's make it another 40 years. You retire at 65, and then you live to be 105. Withdraw, you are not withdrawing anything. So let's assume you are withdrawing on a monthly basis. Let's assume you are withdrawing £8,000 on a monthly basis in your retirement. I tell people that money will never finish. That money will never finish. You'll be living for your children 22 million in that account. Even though this is a simulation, but it is possible. Why? Because the rate of return is more than the rate you are spending. You are spending. You are returning 10% per annum, which is 130. You are returning 138,000 on a yearly basis, but you are only spending 96,000 in a year. And so that money will never finish because you are only spending the interest on your money. And the remaining interest will go into compound. You keep compounding for you, that by the time you spend at that age of 40, you've been able to withdraw. So this is your withdrawal. You've withdrawn total deposit and withdrawal. You've withdrawn 2.4 million in retirement, but you still have 22 million left in that account. And this is very possible that all you do, you spend your interest when you retire. You don't even spend your capital, and that capital keeps making money for you. And this is a simulation, and I believe this is possible. And this is possible by us taking action now, doing something about it. And being able to build wealth over a period of time. It's not get rich quick. It takes a period of time. But the first 100,000 is the most difficult to achieve. Once you cross the 100,000, to get to 1 million becomes easier. Like I normally tell people that that 100,000 is 1/3, is 30% of 1 million, and they ask me how. So if it takes you 10 years to get to 100,000, for you to get to 1 million, it will only take you 2/3 of that time for you to be able to get to 1 million. I don't know whether I'm explaining that very well. So let's assume it took you 5 years to go from 0 to 100,000. If you continue at the same rate, it will only take another 10 years to get to 1 million. So in all, that will be 15 years in all. But the very first 5 years, you get to 100,000, and then the remaining 10 years is to go from 100,000 to 1 million. That's the power of compound interest when you allow time to work in your favor. So let's look at actual return into the market. What has happened in the market? Okay, so we use 10% as an example, and I have here a few companies that we can use to simulate, and I want to put in the chat for me companies that if you were to buy the shares of the share of a particular company now, what would that company be without doing any research at all. Give me the name of the company and I can use those companies as a simulation. But I have some examples here I'm going to use, and I'm going to give us all the links I have here for us to also, when you get home, go and simulate it. Because when you simulate it, it will spur your interest to want to invest. So I'm going to put that also in the chart to everyone. So I'll pick one of them and I'll use one of them as a link to do my simulation for us to simulate the likely return. These are actual numbers, what has happened in the stock market, maybe in the last, you can use the last 10 years. Let's assume that you put 3,000 into, can somebody give me a few companies? Let's give me a few companies that you would have invested in. Give me a few companies. It could be anything. It could be Tesco. It could be Amazon. It could be anything. So someone said Amazon. Okay, let's use Amazon. So if you put money into Amazon, so that would be 10 years ago, it would be 2012. So sorry, it would be 2014. 10 years ago, it would be 2014. If you invested $3,000 in Amazon 10 years ago, okay, today you have 38,000 in your account. That's an average of 29% return on a yearly basis. If all you bought, you just put 3,000 in Amazon and you forget about it. And today you open your account, there will be 38,000 in it. That's passive income. You did not do any work. How many of us at 3,000 can afford 3,000 10 years ago? I can. I could have been able to, okay, to afford 3,000. Someone put in, two people put in Tesla. Okay, that's a very lovely car. I hope I can get one of these days and stop Tesla. If you had put 3,000 into Tesla 10 years ago, okay, that money will have become 43,000 in your account today that you can withdraw and use for your personal use, okay? And then someone else put in Apple, okay? How many of us have iPhone? You know, I have a principle that when I use a product, I'll buy the share of that particular company. Apple, if you had bought Apple will have given you 29,000 in your account if they have put 3,000 into Apple 10 years ago. Today you have 29,000 in that account, and that's an average of 25% return on the yearly basis. And I've got quite a number of them. Let me put the ones that are not so interesting. Coca-Cola will not give you that much, but let's see what Coca-Cola would have given you. Coca-Cola will have given you 6,000, will have doubled your money for you at 10%, at 7% return on a yearly basis if you had bought Coca-Cola. Let's look at, how many of us have Nike shoes? Let's look at Nike. Nike probably won't give you too much, but let's look at how much Nike will give us. Nike will have given us 8,000 on our 3,000 in the last 10 years. Let's look at McDonald's. These are common ones that I know that you won't miss. You can't miss these companies. You know, you would have probably bought some of these companies. It will have given you 10,000. That was about 12% on a yearly basis, a return on your money. And then let's look at Microsoft. Microsoft, which is maybe you are looking at me from a Microsoft device, a Windows system, or in the office you use Outlook, you use Word. That will give you 36,000 if you had put 3,000 into it. So I can go on and on and on. I'm going to put one in NVIDIA. I bought NVIDIA a long time ago because before AI became a thing that I bought NVIDIA. I put 3,000 into NVIDIA. You will have made 600,000 on this 3,000. So I put just a little bit. I put less than 1,000. I put a little bit into NVIDIA a while ago, and I've made thousands and thousands from NVIDIA alone. I don't know if I have enough time to show us. I will have shown you one of my accounts, which in the last 1 year, I bought NVIDIA when NVIDIA was like 50 something pounds, and today NVIDIA is 900. It's $900 if you look at it. If you go to this, let me see if in NVIDIA is enjoying a lot. So it's now 891 is what NVIDIA is. I think I bought NVIDIA a long time ago. I think when it was more than 5 years ago, when it was like around this area, I bought NVIDIA. I made over 100, I've made over 1000% of my money on NVIDIA. And it's still there. I've not finished selling it. I just sold it. There's a little bit of it just to get some little change out of it. And so these are things that are possible in the stock market. There are a lot of other companies, and this is my job to guide you to know what should you buy now. Okay, what should you be buying right now? I just opened an investment account about 3 weeks ago, and I just started buying right now. So it's not too late to buy. Some people who came to the class last month, they just started their account 2-3 weeks ago. People are just starting right now, opening new accounts, and then it's my job to be able to guide you on what to put into that account so that you can have a very fantastic result along the line. Okay, let's move on from there. So these are the things that are possible. So again, I'll explain why I use. We can see that you can get an average. And let me tell you, if you buy 20 stock, you only need to be right. You only need to get like 15 of them right. You might get 5 of them. 5 of them might not do very well, but if you can get 10 or 15 to do very well, I can assure you that you still do very well with your portfolio. Okay, so I said predicting the market is futile. So do not try to predict, oh, I think the interest rate is very high now, so I will not invest. I will allow interest rate to come down before I invest. It will be too late by then. People who invested during now will be the one reaping the reward when interest rate has come down. Do not observe the wind to sow. Who observe the wind will not sow. So if you look at S&P over the years, there are years when it's 14% in a year, that year when it's 2%, that year when it's minus 4%, that year when it's minus 18%. But on the average, the S&P has returned, you can see in annual history is 11%. Okay, in the last 25 years, it's 9%. In the last 10 years, it has returned an average of 13%. And then the next one is NASDAQ. I will explain what all these ones are. S&P 500 is the top 500 companies in America. All these Google, Tesla, Apple, Microsoft, they are all part of S&P 500. The top 500 companies in America is called the S&P 500. And then you see the NASDAQ. NASDAQ is the technology, is more of the technology stock. Actually, NASDAQ 100 is more of this technology stock in America. Again, you have like things like Microsoft and the rest of them there. So what have they done in the history of in the last 25 years of NASDAQ? NASDAQ has done 16% on the average on a yearly basis. Like I said, history is on your side if you are patient. Okay, you can see 20%. You can see it was minus 2008 due to high interest rate. Okay, but year to date is done. It has recovered back again. Same thing. Dow Jones is the manufacturing sector in America, and you can see even the average is still very, very good. So it's easy to achieve. What am I trying to say? If you are long term, you are patient, it's easy to achieve 10% compound interest. And that was what I used for my simulation. Okay, I just gave this as an example of when the market was down in 2002. My portfolio was going up. This one of the small portfolio I started a while ago is grown to be ×2 of this now. This particular one, I think it's on 12,000 now. But when the market was coming down, my portfolio was going up because I was consistent with my investment. Okay, doing nothing or procrastinating is riskier than making informed investment decision. So it's not about you take calculated, you don't just buy it. And that's the reason why somebody like myself is here, to be able to guide you in what in the level of risk you're supposed to take and how you're supposed to take that risk. And then it's not when you procrastinate or you do nothing, it's riskier. It's riskier. You don't bury your head in the sand and do nothing. Do something, but do it in a very informed way. Okay, let's go to the next thing. Now let's look further. Let's now go into what you can invest in when it comes into the stock market. Yeah. Oh, this picture is still here. I suppose I removed it. So this was it last year? was it last year? I think this was last year when we went to New York. Decided to go to Nasdaq. Nasdaq is a stock exchange in America, and then we also went to New York Stock Exchange to some pictures. Went to Wall Street, took some pictures and stuff like that. So there are exchanges. The exchanges is the place where you buy and sell, shares. We have London Stock Exchange, we have New York Stock Exchange, we have the Nasdaq, we have a lot of them. Every country have their own stock exchange. But these days, you don't have to go to stock exchange to be able to buy and sell. You don't even need to call up anybody or transfer money to anybody from your phone. There are platforms that will help you to be able to make investment without you leaving the comfort of your room, and I will give us example of those in a moment. So you now have these platforms that with as little as £1, as £5, you can start investing. Okay, and then what account can you open on these platforms? I will explain all these accounts to us and the advantages and disadvantages of this account. Somebody's asked a question: when investing, is it fixed term, maybe 10 years, or you can withdraw anytime? How do you determine how long the money should stay before investing? So when you invest, it's not fixed term. So especially when you invest in the stock market, it is not fixed term. Okay. When you invest in the stock market, it is not fixed time. But again, there are accounts that allow you to put in money and withdraw money immediately, and there are accounts that will not allow you to withdraw money until your retirement. So I will explain those accounts now. So it's only when you do savings that you fixed it. So I can buy Microsoft today and sell it tomorrow, but I'm more like a trader. I'd rather buy Microsoft today and wait for 2-3 years before selling it. Okay, or I can buy Apple today and wait for 2, 3, 4, 5 years before selling it. So there is no time bound. But as I will explain to you, there are different accounts you can open. There are government recognized accounts, and then those will show you when you can access the account and when whether it's until retirement or you can access it at any time. So for number one account you can open is what is called Junior ISA. Junior ISA is for children age 0 to age 18. You can open what is called Junior ISA for your children, and you are allowed to put in up to 9,000 into the account in a tax year. And then any profit that is made on the account is tax-free. It means by the time your child is age 18, they will take over the account. They can keep adding to it. When they start spending the money in the account, they don't pay taxes on it. You know, this country loves tax so much, but ISA has been around for 25 years. It was 25 years in April 6 this year, and they've not been asking for and it's been tax-free up to now. And there are people who are millionaires, as I will show us later, or ISA millionaires, and they don't have to pay tax anymore. And that is kind of thing I want. Okay. And the next thing is what they call LISA. And I tell people, if you are still under 40, please open a LISA, and then you come and thank me later. Open a LISA, put £1 into it, and come and thank me later, because this is an account that can serve as a retirement account for you. And when you retire, you don't have to pay taxes. You know, when you retire with your workplace pension, you still have to pay tax. If you retire with your state pension, you still have to pay tax. So, but if you don't want to pay tax when the time you are retiring, open a LISA. If you are still under 40, from age 18 to age 39, you can open a LISA. When you open a government, the good thing is that government will be adding 25% of money you put into your ISA until you are age 50. Imagine when government is giving 25% of your money from age 18 to age 50. And they give you that money, they won't collect that money back from you because it is tax-free. Okay, and you can put in a maximum of 4,000 into the account. When you put in 4,000, they add 1,000 to it to make it 5,000. Now, two things you can use the money for. So that you buy your first house with it. If you don't buy your first house with it, you leave it to become your retirement account that you can only touch when you are age 60. If you touch it before then, you'll be penalized. They cannot take their money back if you touch it before then. But if you wait and turn it to your retirement account, by the time you're age 60, you retire and you don't have to pay taxes. And I think that is a very beautiful one. Okay. And then junior SIP. Now, the SIP means self-invested personal pension. Self-invested personal pension. This is a retirement account that you can open, and you can buy shares into it. From age 0 to age 18, you can open a SIP account. so you can open for your children. If you wanted to retire at the age of 30 or 35, you can start putting money aside for them now. 2,880 is what you can put into it in a year. When you put that into it, government will give you 20%. Whether you are working or you are not working, government will still give you 20% into your SIP. You can open SIP until you are age, I think age 70. When you reach age 70, you can't open a SIP account anymore. But before then, you can open, sorry, there's senior SIP and junior SIP. So this is junior SIP. So between age 18 and age 0 and 18, you can open this one. You get 20% top up from the government, from HMRC, whether you are working or you are not working. And then you can't touch it until you are 55 because it's your retirement account. As we know, when you turn 55, you can take lump sum of 25% of your retirement account out tax-free. So if you have $1 million in your retirement account, you can take out 250,000 from that account cash without having to pay tax for it. That applies to all pension accounts. Okay, and then thereafter you pay taxes on the remaining part. And then you now have the stock and share ISA, which is for adult. This is the adult ISA. When you are age 18 and above, you can open this ISA. And into your ISA, you can only put in 20,000 in a tax year. So across all your ISA, let's assume you have a cash ISA with your bank, you have a life ISA, and then you have this particular adult ISA. Across the whole of the ISA, you can only put in 20,000 across all of your ISAs. Any profit you make on your ISA, you do not pay taxes on it. You can withdraw from your ISA anytime. So for the person who has the question, you cannot withdraw from SIP. We're going to get to SIP. You can't withdraw from SIP anytime. From your ISA, you can withdraw from your ISA anytime without any penalty, and it is tax-free. Okay, then we move on to, okay, this is just an example of people. There are thousands of people who are ISA millionaires and they don't ever have to pay taxes when they spend their money. And then you now go to SIP. SIP is a retirement account for adults. Okay, from age 18 and above, you can open your SIP account. You can put money into your SIP until you're age 75. You can still, you can open a SIP account until you're age 75. When any money you put into your SIP, government will add, they can add up to 45% of the amount you put into your SIP. They will give it back to you as a top up on your SIP. And I will explain that now. So across all your pension accounts, you can only put in 60,000, your workplace pension and every other account you have that is retirement account. Across all of that, you can only put 60,000. If you earn 6,000 in a year, you can also put the whole of the 6,000 into your pension account. It means you don't have to pay any tax until you retire. Okay, but let me give us the analysis of this place. So if you put in, if you are if you are not working or you are a lower rate taxpayer, government will give you 20% back. If you're a higher rate taxpayer, government will give you an additional 20% to make it 40%. But if you are what's the name of the third one now? If you are the people who earn 135,000 and above, what do they call them? If you're an additional rate taxpayer, government will give you 25% on plus that 20% for you to make 45%. It's more like then returning your tax back to you. So you pay tax on this money and you are now investing, they give you your tax back. Up to 45% of your tax will be given back to you of whatever you put into that account. And then you claim the remaining one after the 20%, you claim it back through your self-assessment. And then they will give you the cash. You can do whatever you want with the cash, actually. And then at 55, like I've said before, you can withdraw the money, and thereafter, thereafter you pay taxes after that. The retirement age will be going from 55. The time you can touch the money is going from 55 to 57 by 2028. So some of us can't touch our retirement account until we are 57. We don't know what will happen when in 2035 or 2040. Well, you won't be able to touch your retirement account or to take out that lump sum of 25% until you are 57, as with the rate of twist, unless you're already 55. Okay, so let's move on. So how do you open this investment account? So this is my personal, I have SIPs, I have more than one SIP, I have more than one ISA. And we are not allowed to open multiple ISA. Before, you can only open one ISA of a particular type, but from April 6, we've been allowed to open multiple ISA accounts. We've been allowed to open multiple ISA accounts of the same type. So you can have your stock ISA with different companies, but you still have to stay within your 20,000 per tax year. So the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, and the second best time is now. That's again trying to encourage us that maybe you've not started a long time ago. Yeah, I missed it 10 years ago. I missed Apple 10 years ago. I missed Nvidia 10 years ago. I mean Microsoft 10 years ago. Today is another day that you can buy, invest money into those company or any other company that I will be explaining to us. So like I've said, every of your income has seed in it that you're supposed to plant, giving in it that you're supposed to give, and then you're supposed to eat the remaining one. Don't eat the whole of the pie. Give, invest, and then you can eat. You can see the amount you are meant to eat is a lot. It's maybe like almost 80% that you can eat, but make sure the remaining 10%, make sure you don't eat it. Make sure that you invest them properly. Okay. For those who are in Nigeria, I know some people register from Nigeria. These are the apps you can use to invest in Nigeria. These are the old companies that have been there for a very long time. They have investment arm. You can open accounts with them, and you can buy mutual funds and shares through them. You can do a lot of things through them. You can buy ETFs through them. And these are new companies just coming up. This company will allow you to buy shares from American companies if you live in Nigeria. If you live in America, these are the common ones, the very popular ones. And then if you live in Canada, these are the very popular ones that are there. But for us who live in the UK, these are the popular investment account. You can take a screenshot of it. But if you come for the master class, I will tell you the one that will probably better suit what you want to do. So you are trading 212, Freetrade, HL, AJ Bell, all of them, they are all UK companies or American companies that have their office in the UK also that you can invest in. So the next one we're going to show us, some of their charges. I thought I have a slide that explains this better. Okay, so if you look at it, Freetrade used to be the cheapest, but I think trading 212 has overtaken Freetrade to be the cheapest now that you can use. So you have trading 212, you have HL, you have Interactive Investor, AJBL, and a lot of them that you can use for your investment. And you have, and I know what is it called? Moneybox is very popular with people. Moneybox is popular. Nutmeg is also there, and Vanguard is also popular with people that I know. I use Trading 212, Freetrade, and HL. I agree last done. And so why is Freetrade and Trading 212 very popular? Because they offer what we call fractional shares. Fractional shares is where you can buy share of £1. Like I said, if you look at Nvidia that I showed us a while ago, this is Nvidia. Let me show us more of these companies. So if you look at this is, let me sort it based on, if you look at these companies, it's 300 pounds, $300 a share. Costco is $700 a share, but you can use £1 to buy it. Okay, and that's the beauty of fractional shares. And so what do? They give you 0.000 point something percent of the shares, and so you're already a shareholder with just £1, with just £5, with just £10. You can start investing and you can build up from there. And that's the way I build my accounts. What I do is I just put like £5 or £10 on 10 of them, and I keep building up until it becomes 1,000 in all of them. That's a very good way to do that. And so these are just the differences in HL and Freetrade. I'll move on from there. How many minutes do we have left? Okay, how do you pick stocks? So the first thing I want us to do to also okay, I have new messages. Is the junior SIP the equivalent of adult LISA? No, the junior SIP is the equivalent of the adult SIP. Okay, junior SIP is a retirement account. LISA per se is not a retirement account, but it becomes a retirement account if you don't buy your first house with it. You can't touch it until you are 60. If you touch it, you get penalized for doing that. So the junior SIP is the equivalent of the adult SIP, the SIP. Okay, how does SIP differ from LISA? And which of the account would you advise I open for retirement? Okay, now, like I said, for your LISA, government will give you 25% on your LISA. you can only open LISA where if you're under 40. Government will give you 25% of whatever you put. You can only put 4,000 into it in a year. You can't, either you buy your first house with it. Those are the differences. Or you wait till when you are 60 to be able to start touching it, and you don't pay taxes on it. Now, for your SIP is more like your workplace pension, which you are managing yourself. You can't touch it until you are 55, when you can remove 25% of whatever you have there without having to pay tax, and then thereafter you start paying tax on it. Whereas on LISA, you do not pay tax on it. The advantage of LISA is that it's not easy access like your for your LISA, it's not easy access like your ISA. ISA, you can dip your hand into it at any time. For LISA, you'll be penalized, so you don't want to dip your hand into it, and so that protects it for you as a pseudo investment, as a pseudo retirement account. Okay, so that's just you working the system and being able to take advantage. So another question says, please, what do you mean by 20,000 ISA annual allowance? So the ISA, 20,000 ISA allowance is how much you can put into ISA without having to pay taxes. So if you put in more than 20,000, you pay tax on anything you gain above the 20,000. So the allowance is your money. It's not government giving it to you. Okay. So it means your cash ISA, your LISA, your life ISA, your ISA, your normal ISA, your innovative ISA, all the ISAs that are available, you can only invest 20,000 in a tax year for it to be tax free. So that's what that question is saying. I hope I've answered those questions. Okay, so to start investing, there's a need for us to create watch lists. All these things we've been talking about, all these companies that you see around, add them to your watch list. And how do you create a watch list? It's very easy. It's free, and watch list is free. If you have a Google account and you go to Google Finance, you can create a watch list from there. So let me just give us those pages. Let me give us this. You can create your watch list on any of these websites. I'll put them in the chat for us to go, and then you create your watch list from there. Okay, put in the chat. You can create your watch list from any of those websites. Okay, and what do? You add companies to it. So let me go back to that web page and then show us. So if I created a watch list and I want to add investment, just come around here, type in the company you want to, let's say Tesco PLC. You can add it, and it will add Tesco to your list. Okay, so that's the way it works. And if you go to Yahoo Finance, you can do the same thing on Yahoo Finance. You can create a watch list, and you just start adding companies to your watch list. I have some watch list. I think this might be a watch list for me. Infrastructure companies. So you can create watch lists based on different title. That's infrastructure company. These are penny stock. These are EV, electric vehicle companies, and those who are charging electric battery charging, electric charge stations, and the rest of them. So you can create different watch lists based on, you can categorize them together, and then you just create your watch list. That way you can see what is happening to each of those stocks. So what else can you do? So how do you pick stocks? Look around you. Look at, some of us mentioned Tesla, Apple, Microsoft, a while ago. I'm not saying they are good investments. Okay, don't get me wrong. This is not financial advice. I'm not saying they are good, and I'm not saying they are bad at the same time. Okay, you need to do analysis before you buy any stock at all, and then read what the experts are saying. Do your research and look at what analysts are saying to be a very good stock within a particular sector, and then look at their financials. When you are convinced that they are good enough, then you buy them a little bit, then you keep buying a little bit until you have a very big portfolio in that particular stock. So that is it about stock market, how to start to invest in stock market, how to open the account. If you have any question on that, you can let me know, and I can answer it as I move on to the next one. So in the remaining one, I will just run savings. We all know about savings, but there's a savings account I use. It's called NS&I. NS&I does not pay you any interest. As you put in your money, you get your money back the way you put it in. Okay, so why put your money in it? What they do is they do a random selection. So you can win up to 1 million. So NSNI is government backed, it's you borrowing government money, and you put money into it. For every pound you put into it, you have the possibility of winning £1,000,000 or 100,000 or 50,000 or 10,000 or even 25 pounds or 50 pounds or 100 pounds. And so any money you will need in the next 6 months or in the next 6 months, you can just put in the next 1 year to 6 months, you can just put in NSNI. For instance, if I'm saving for holiday, I just put in NSNI. I can't put holiday money into stock. And again, if you are going to buy a house next year, don't put into stock market, because that's a short 1 year is too short for you to really see the kind of gain you want to see. You can your money you can get 10%, 20% within a year. But what if it was a year that coronavirus happened? So what would you do? So you don't want to do that. I want to do things that, to use your, be sensitive, be very uh what will I put it now? Risk management conscious when you put your money. But the first rule of investing is do not lose your capital. The second rule is to remember the first rule. The third is to remember the first rule, which is do not lose your capital. And that is what I try to teach people to do. You can say I'm conservative, but that works in the long term. It works that you don't lose your capital when you follow what I'm telling you. Okay, NSNI, yeah, it's a place savings account. You don't pay interest, but you have the advantage of winning money there, and you can get your cash back within 3 days whenever you need it. Okay, now real estate, it's another very good investment. I've spent so much time on stock, but I will just give us the advantages of real estate. I have like 2 or 3 slides on it. And then what is real estate? Is when you are able to buy properties and then you rent it out. Or you don't even have to buy, you can rent properties and rent it out. It's called rent to rent. Or you buy properties and then you rent it out. And then what are the advantages? You are leveraging. It's not cash and carry. It means with your 10 to 25%, you can buy a house and bank will give you the remaining 75% for you to be able to buy. It's capital appreciation. It means when you buy a house today, it's 100,000. In the next 10 years, it could become 120,000 or more. That is capital appreciation. And in fact, I think an average of 5 to 6% appreciation is what you get on real estate in the UK. It could be more than that, depending on the region where you are buying the property in. Okay, rental income, which is cash flow. It means you get rental income on a monthly basis from it. From there, you pay your mortgage. The remaining one is cash flow for you. And then, please, do we get the recording? God have mercy on me. Yes, I'm recording. Yes, it's being recorded. I will upload the recording into YouTube. Okay, and you can go listen on the YouTube. Okay, I will upload it for us, and we can go and listen to this over and over again. So we can see that the capital appreciation, cash flow, equity release is when you pull out money from a house to buy another house. You buy a house, from that house you can actually buy up to 3 houses from that single house over a period of 5 to 10 years. That single house can give you 3 houses by you pulling out equity from the house to buy another one. You remortgage, pull out money when the house has appreciated, that as deposit for another house, on and on like that you go. As a physical asset, which you can see and touch, there's housing shortage. It means if you always have somebody to rent a house if your house is good and decent. And then there is diversification of your portfolio. You have a bit of stock. Like myself, I have a bit of stock, I have a bit of real estate, I have a bit of businesses that I'm managing. And so I've been able to diversify my source of income. And I have a day job. I still have a day job. I have a 9 to 5 job. Okay, store of value. It means no matter what goes up or down, that your deposit is inside that house. It will come out one of these days. It will come out. Okay, so this example, I might not be able to go into it, but this is an example that I normally use to explain a 3-bed house bought 2010 was 10,000 then. It has doubled in value to 145,000. And this 10,000 was the amount put into it. There was an equity release years ago, and with that bought another house around London. That's another 360 now. In total, this 10,000 has created $500,000 in value, and then we've gone up to have in excess of over $1 million other houses after then. And so this is what the value of what real estate can do for you. Entrepreneurship is another thing. You might want to start a business, okay? Invest in yourself. Start a side hustle. Start either online one. It could be other things, but make sure that, like you see on that cash flow quadrant, whatever you are, you're an employee, you're a business person, whatever you are, let your money flow into investment. You do business. At times, if your business is not, if you don't have staff already, it means you have to be at the business for the business to make money. And that is not passive income. So you need your money to channel your money from your business. As you're building the business, also you build your investment portfolio, and that gives you passive income as you build. Okay, how to build business, I will skip that. And in summary, what have we looked at today? See, I've been able to run through, and we are good with time. What have we learned today? We learned that every one of us can become a millionaire in a generation. We can. It's time will work for us. Compound interest will work for us. And it again depends on if you are starting at the age of, like myself, I started at the age of 40, and I've been able to get to a very good place. So if you are dedicated for a period of 7 to 10 years, you will be able to achieve a lot. I can assure you. I don't have the time to show us portfolios. I can assure that within 7 to 10 years, you'll be able to achieve a lot. Then we look at the pillars of building wealth. We look at you having good education. We look at you being strategic about you, what you put your money into. We look at you controlling your money. We look at the foundation, body care, and then and your mindset. We look at how you can transfer money effectively. You look at the phases, phase 1 to 5. When you are just starting, you are trying to be debt free, you are opening your investment account, you're putting about 5% of your money into your account. You move on to when you now have your contingency, 3 to 6 months income being kept somewhere. You are going into diversification, you are consolidating your investment. You're going to phase 3, where you now diversify in the geographical beyond your current geographical location into other geographical locations. Looking at part 4, where you are now trying to set up you're setting up your foundation, where you can do charitable work. You are bringing your children into the business, and phase 5, you're retired, you're enjoying your money, your children are taking over, and all of that. Then we look at you need to increase your capacity to earn more. Look at the power of compound interest, and then we look at it in real life application, what has happened over the years, and then we look at how you can open your investment account, and how you can be consistent. You need to be consistent with what are the next steps. The next steps are these. I want us to go ahead. If you don't have a budget, please go and create a budget. A budget is not a punishment. Someone said, I'm asking about bamboo because it wasn't on the list. Oh, it's bamboo in the UK. Bamboo is in Nigeria. So I'll go back. Bamboo is in Nigeria. I'm not sure if bamboo has come to the UK. So bamboo is here in Nigeria. I'm not sure they are in the UK. I don't think so. I've not come across them in the UK. Okay. It's in the UK now. Lovely, that's good. I'll go research it and see whether their product is cheap, whether it's very cheap for them to cheap for people to get on it, and I'll add it to the list. I'll look into it. So the next thing, please go create a budget. Please know what is coming in for you, know where it is going. How do you download your bank account, look for the last 3 months, see where your money has been going, then see how much you want to budget for each. Make sure in your budget, your paying yourself first is part of your budget. So budget your investment money as part of your budget. Okay, it must be part of your budget, or else at the end of the day, you say there's nothing left for it. Remove the very first 5 or 10% budget for investment, or remove your giving as number 1, remove your paying yourself as number 2. Then do it that way and see where you can move things around. So create an action plan to become debt free if you're not yet debt free. Set up a standing order for your investment account, open an investment account, and then invest in your first fund or your first share. Register for the master class, which will give you further education on how to be able to invest and be risk aware and know how to manage risk what is good investment, what to invest in, why are you investing what you are investing in. For people who have been in the master class, they know we sit down together to analyze why are you buying this, why are you buying that. Okay, you don't just buy, you must have a conviction before you buy. And so this is what you gain when you come for the master class. One is coming up May 18th. I have people on this call who have registered already. They are just coming. They were in the class on Saturday, and they are already registered for 2 Saturdays ago. They were and they already registered for this 18th of May. So it's going to be, now you've done a 2 hours. This 2 hours is just foundation. So the Saturday is going to be 6 hours of training, intensive 6 hours of training on how to actually become an investor. And I'll tell people that 6 hours is not even enough for you to be an investor. Talk less of 2 hours. Then after the 6 hours, we now go into the mentoring part of it. The mentoring is actually where you become an investor. It's where you open your investment account. It's where you put things into your investment account. It's where you automate your investment. And that happens after you've come to the advanced class. Okay, and all of that is for £100. I tell people it won't be £100 forever, and it's a live class where I'm the one speaking. Very soon I will record these things, I will upload them. Those who want to listen to the uploaded version will pay £100, and those who want to come to the live class will pay like £250 for me to come and talk for 6 hours. Okay, so this is a time to take advantage of it, and that platform will be ready by God's grace by the end of July. And then this price is going to change by July. If you want the £100, you go and listen to a recorded class. And then, so what am I trying to say is, come on Saturday if you're interested in this. Just go to the website where you registered for this particular course. Register for the master class. We look deeper into how do you pick stock, fundamental analysis, technical analysis, mutual fund and ETF, how do you analyze and buy them. We look at how do you formulate a strategy for your portfolio. We look at practical sessions in between. Then you join a community of investors on Discord, and there's no subscription fee for you for now. You join for free. Add you to that place, to the Discord. You leverage on other people's experience and on my experience, and then you become becoming a doer of it, isn't it? And then I'll share my portfolio strategy, and I'll share you can take a look at my portfolio at that level, and then we look at debt repayment strategy, and then I'll talk about why I don't day trade, and then I'll talk about my property investment journey. So you have all of that. Then I think the most important of this is the mentoring. I can teach you for 6 hours. That does not make you an investor. It's me holding you by the hand and showing you that this is what you should do and this is how you should do it. That's what makes you an investor. And over the period of, and I didn't put a time limit to the mentoring really. I know that after the period of 6 months to 1 year, you should be able to stand on your own. And all of that is for £100. And so I'm just some of the things we will look at. They are there on that list. And then so I want us to come around. Let's come around. Let's come around to that masterclass. So let me show us on the website. It's easy to register if you want to. Go to ibwf.com, and that is the website. You see these 2 buttons. One is free training. That's the one we've just gone through right now. Or you can click on the advanced class. That takes you to a place like this. You could click on this one. That takes you to Zoom, and then you're able to register on Zoom. This will take you to PayPal. You're able to pay using either you pay or use PayPal to pay, or you transfer £100 to my account, and you let me know, and I can register you manually for that class. So questions, let's go into questions now. If you have more questions, please ask me. I'm happy to answer that question. Any question, ask me in the context of the things we have looked at today. And for those that we met at OMC, because we did an exhibition at OMC, you probably have this leaflet. I printed this leaflet. You probably have this leaflet with you, which is some of the things you gain when you come for master class. Okay, so questions. Ask me questions. We have 15 more minutes to go. ask me questions or either on the master class or ask me questions generally. And if you're a group, you have 5 people coming around, you pay £80 for group registration. If you can come together as 5 people per person, you pay £80 for group. If you want to talk to people in your church, could you give a bit more information about pulling of equity from property? Definitely. Paid for master class. Oh, thank you very much. Yes, yes, payment received. You've been registered. Thank you for that. Okay, how do you pull money from property? It's easy. It's easy to do that. It's called when you do a remortgage. You transferring your. I'm going to explain that with numbers. Let me quickly explain that to Ross. How do you pull equity from your property? Let me increase the font size to 36. Okay, so this is how to do it. Let's assume you bought a property for 100,000. That is how much you bought it. And then you put down a deposit when buying it. It does it of 25. Let's say of 10,000, which is 10%. That was what your deposit. So let me call this value, and let's call this deposit. And then let's assume the house has increased in value to, let me use a round figure, to 200,000. Let's say 150,000. The house is now 100. It's 150,000. The current value of the house. Remember, you've been paying your mortgages. Let's assume this maybe it took 5 years or 10 years to become 150,000. At this point, you can pull out money out of this house. Okay, so if you look at it, your equity was 10. Your equity was 10,000. It means you took a loan of 90,000 when you first bought it. That's your loan or your mortgage. Okay, when you first bought the house. The house is now 150,000. It means, let's assume that you will have paid down this money a little bit, but let's assume that you are still owing 90,000 on the house. So what will happen is that the new bank will value the house to be 150,000. And that is how much they want to borrow you. But they will ask you to put down a deposit first. Let's assume if it's your personal house, for instance, you put another deposit of 10%, which is 15,000. No, it won't come from your pocket. So the new value of the house is 150. So the bank's supposed to give you 150, but they won't give all the 150 to you. They first of all remove out of it a 15,000, which is the new deposit. Okay, and then they will pay off this bank the money you loan from the bank, and that would be how much now? So they pay off, so minus 15, then minus 90,000 that you owe your current lender. Whatever is left is your equity release. So this plus this is 105. Okay, you have 45,000 is your equity release. So you release that equity. This money will be given to you. You don't pay tax on it. It will be given to you cash in your solicitor will transfer 45,000 into your account as cash. But you know your new debt is now you remove 15 plus 150 is now how much you are now owing the bank. So your debt has increased, but you get 45,000 out as cash, which you can use to buy another house if you want to. Now you do that through your mortgage. Just tell your, when you are remortgaging, they will tell you whether how much deposit you want and how much you want to release out of it. So that's how remortgage will work. Pay directly into your account plus register, and then so please register me manually for. Yes, you have been registered. You've been registered manually for that class. If you don't have the email after the class, drop me a text, and then I will check what has happened. Check your spam folder for that, and then we can rectify that. Okay, any other question? We have another 10 minutes to go. If you have any other question, please ask, and then I will be able to answer within the time that we have left. But if and if you need more clarification, give me that's my phone number there, down there, 0775716376. You can drop me a text if you need further clarification. I'll be much happy to clarify it for you, to you. Okay. Any other question, either on real estate, on stock investment, on masterclass? And then again, please spread the news. We do this on a monthly basis. The time might change, but very soon it's going to be recorded, and people just listen to recorded messages, or just go to YouTube to listen to recording. Thank you so much. Please, can you? Oh yes, you can get the recording today. It will process. I will edit, cut out 1 or 2 minutes out of it, and I will upload into YouTube. So, okay, sorry, let me show you where to find it on YouTube. So my social media handle, Instagram, YouTube. So my social media handle is which account is this one? Sorry. Okay, let me switch. Sorry, this is church account. Let me switch to my own account. So my own account is IBWFG. So just search for IBWFG on all social media. That is, so you can follow on Instagram. You get a lot of things that I will post there. And then if you want to search on YouTube, search for IBWFG, and that will give you the channel. So that will also give you the channel. So that's the channel. This is where I'm going to upload it into. Okay, so I will upload it there. So then on Twitter, it's the same handle on Twitter, IBWFG. If you go on Twitter, it's going to be also IBWFG. That's church own. So I can switch to my own from here. How do you switch now? Can't remember. Yeah, you can switch. So it's ibwfg.com is that handle on all social media. Okay. IBWFG. So the full meaning is I build wealth for generations. If you want to remember, I build. So personality for yourself, you build wealth, I build wealth for generations. Okay, sorry, it was okay. Yes, Saxo. Yeah, I know about Saxo, not Bamboo. Thank you very much for that. Okay, IBWFG.com. Okay, so someone asked ETF and individual shares, difference, please. Okay, so ETF there are 2 types of ETFs. Some ETFs are trackers, so they track an index. So for instance, I've told us that let me come around here. For instance, FTSE 100 is an index. So there could be an ETF that tracks FTSE 100. So it will mirror FTSE 100. Let me give us a very common example of ETF that we know. This is NASDAQ. So NASDAQ 100 is an index. But if you look at EQQQ, sorry, EQQQ is a NASDAQ 100 ETF. So if you look at it over 1 year, you can see that the ETF tracks the index. So it's a mirror of the index. So you can buy, if you want to invest in technology stock, you buy EQQQ, which is an ETF that tracks NASDAQ. Over 5 years, you can see they move together. So it's a tracker. So that is an ETF. Okay, then again, you can buy ETF based on a sector. You can buy ETF that is focusing on a particular sector. And so it tracks that sector. But individual shares is when you pick on a company. For instance, you say, let me look at a list, some of the list I have here. These are individual stock. Lovesac Aviation, Joby Aviation. These are individual company. Apple, Microsoft, you buy individual. McDonald's, Coca-Cola. These are individual. This is you buying individual stocks. Okay, another question. What platform do you open ISA account? Yeah, the person asking this account, this question is coming for masterclass. I know you are paid for your masterclass, so I will explain that better for you in masterclass. But a lot of them have it. Let me go to that for people, so I know. Let me give us that knowledge is not. So let's come around to the account, to those accounts. Sorry for moving. Okay, so all of them will open ISA account for you. Okay, not all of them can open LISA. Moneyball will open LISA. HL will open LISA. AJB will open LISA, and that's the lifetime ISA. For ISA, I think all of them will open an ISA for you. ISA is the most popular. All of them will open ISA for you. But for me to tell you specific one to open, I need to know your circumstances. I need to know how much you want to put it in on a monthly basis. I need to know what you plan to do. So that will determine which of these I would say recommend for you to put your money into. Okay, to invest, to open the account that you will open. You get that after the master class when we have our group mentoring. Okay, any other question? Okay, so how have you found it today? If you think you've gotten value for your time, can you give your teacher and your coach a thumbs up? Thank you very much. Oh, thank you very, very much for that. Okay. Thank you. So it was nice. Oh, I really, really appreciate that. Thanks. Thank you very much. And so, like I said, anytime you have a question, let me know. Want to come for the master class? Definitely, please do come for the master class. As you can see, it's at a very giveaway price. Mentoring is worth more than £1,000, to be honest. Other dates for masterclass. Someone is asking for other date for masterclass. Okay, another date for masterclass. If you can't make, we do masterclass every other month. Every other month. It's once. So we come around to IBWFG. So the next date, apart from this Saturday, is the 16th of July. That has been fixed. So if you miss July, then that will be September. If you miss September, that will be November. So it's once in 2 months. So it's once in 2 months. So we did one last month. We are doing another one this month because of some people that have registered just have to do that this month in consecutively. So the next one is going to be July 6th. It's going to be on a Saturday. That's when we have enough time. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate the fact that we all waited to the end of the class. And thank you for coming around. So that brings us to the end of the class. If there are no further questions, and these are the things you will gain from the master class, and then you can either register via PayPal, or you do a bank transfer, and then you let me know that you have registered. How to register, please? So you click on this date, it brings you here, and then just fill this form. Then checkout will take you to PayPal, and then you can pay. If you don't have a PayPal account, just pay into this account. Okay, I'll put the link. Let me put the link in the chat for us. IBWFG Masterclass. Okay, so that is the link. You click on that, you see the date, pick the date, and then you can go ahead and either use PayPal to pay, or you do bank transfer and you let me know. So that's how it works. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful evening. And I hope to see some of you in the master class on this Saturday, this upper on the 18th of May, by the grace of God. So have a wonderful evening, and God bless. So when is the next master class? The next master class is the 18th of May. The 18th of May, which is 2 Saturdays from now. And the one thereafter is July. But I don't procrastinate. Do it when it is hot. Do it now when it's very hot. Time is from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. 10 a.m. from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's going to be about 5 hours thereabout. It's tense, but thereafter you now have your mentoring during the week. In the evenings during the week you have your mentoring, and then mentoring continue, and I will add you to Discord. Discord is is a place where we come around and then we talk and stuff like that. You come around to Discord, and then you there are categories there. You come around, and then I'll add you to this Discord group where we do discussion and stuff like that. Okay. Any other question, please? Okay, so it's 9:01. Thank you for coming once again, and have a wonderful evening. I will turn off my video now. Thank you. Okay, yeah, that's okay. That's okay. You can WhatsApp. Yes, I'm on WhatsApp. My phone number is, I think I'm still sharing my screen. You can find my phone number either on the website. Let me see. I think I should have my phone number on there. So this is my phone number on the website. You can drop me a WhatsApp. Okay. Okay. Thank you so very much. I would bring, in the absence of, okay, you're welcome. If there are no questions, I will be ending the call right now. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. You are welcome.